Hello, 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 everyone. Hey, 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 come on in and join me. I know I'm a few minutes early, but I never know when StreamYard is going to let me be great on my laptop. So I'm coming on here. It is February the 16th. It is Wednesday, February the 16th. I'm excited about being on here in my community. Those of you who are hopping on, let me know that you are live here with me inside of Elevate Her Story University and Coaching Academy. And then also I'm streaming on my Facebook page and then also on YouTube as well. So, yeah. So let me make sure that I am live inside of the group. And I am. And then also let's see. My little thing. Oh, come on. All right, let me see if that works. I'm up here fooling around with this thing. And up here fooling around and got something going on here and did not see my face. Did not see my face, but I hope that you guys can see me. Let me see if I'm inside the group. All right, I'm cool. I don't know what I'm doing here on StreamYard, but I'm going to fool around. I'm going to play with it until I get it right. Come on in, you guys. I'm excited about being on today and sharing with you about what I know, and that is about writing books, publishing, and getting the bag as well when it comes to writing our stories and writing our books. So I am not going to delay. I know I'm early, and I know that you're going to come on in as well. And those of you who are going to join me later as you write or listen to the replay, leave your comments in the comment sections as well. So today we are going to talk about writing, of course, but what topic or what story do I write? That is something that a lot of first-time authors get stuck on. What do I write? So before I get started, of course, I want to introduce myself because we have quite a few new members inside of the group. And I want to introduce myself to you. And then if you come on live with me today, please let me know who you are, introduce yourself, and then also let me know where you are coming in from. So I am Pastor P, Coach P. I am the story expert coach inside of this community to nonfiction authors. I teach them how to self-publish. I am also a creative story coach, business coach, and a 13-time best-selling, 2-time award-winning author of nonfiction, Christian fiction, and children's books. And I'm also the CEO of Elevate Her Story University and Coaching Academy, which is a marketplace ministry platform where we are teaching women how to use their voices to become authors, coaches, publishers, and speakers. So if you are a writer, aspiring writer, this community is definitely for you. And there's all sorts of content inside the community to help you get to that place where you are finally publishing your book and you are learning how to monetize your book as well, because it's one thing to publish and it's another thing to really learn about monetizing your story in other or using your story to increase your income. There are many different streams of income that can derive from one book, and I'll share those things with you in a later broadcast. But today we are going to be talking about What story do I write? What story do I write? And so come on in and let me know who you are and where you are coming in from. So, what story do I write? You know, that's a big, big question for us when we have so many stories, experiences that can last us a lifetime. So, which one do we pick that's really going to resonate with the reader? Because no matter what story you pick, it always is about the reader. It is about bringing the reader a solution. It is about giving your readers some wins. It is about giving them some kind of process, a journey that you took to get you to a place of victory. So it's about the reader. Yes, your story is about you, but it's for the reader. So what story do I write? Which story in my life that really can resonate with readers, that's really going to resonate with them and give me that contact with them? That's going to give me that contact with them. So here's some simple steps that you can take that will help you determine what story to write. So if you're coming on here, thank you so much. Let me know who you are in the comment section. If you have questions as well, please make sure you put those comments in the section as well. So how do you pick a topic? How do you determine what story that you're going to write? So think about something that you are passionate about. Okay, think about something that you are very skilled in. Think about something that a success, a failure, something that you have triumphed over, and even something that that was trauma for you. All right, so you want to think about something that you are able to share, and that it is something that can be repeated and relived to readers, okay, and that you can share it publicly. All right, so what story? So when you think about the story that you want to write, you think about those parameters. Okay, you think about something, a message that's going to relate most to the reader, and then also relate to the reader, and then also the message that you want to share, that you're willing to share over and over and over again, and relive that story repeatedly so that other people can hear your story and be really ministered to, and really share with them how you got through it. Okay, so you have to think about that. All right. An experience that taught you the most lessons. You think about over your life, what experience taught you the greatest lessons in life? You can write about that. A period in your life that was transformational. Think about something that transformed your life. And then think about how can you convey that in your story that's going to transform the life of readers. So when you write in your story, it's really twofold. It is you being transformed by your experience, and then it's the reader being transformed by your story. I'm going to say it again. All right. It is, when we write our books, it is us sharing our story of transformation. But then when the reader reads our stories, it's them being transformed by our story. All right. So we've already went through the transformation. Now we want to help the reader go through their very own transformation by reading our story. And that's why it's so important that when we write our story, we're not writing it in a place of pain. We're not writing it in a place where we're still broken and scarred, because the reader is going to pick that up. Okay. We want to make sure that we're writing our stories in a place of victory. We're writing our stories in a place of triumph. And we're writing our stories in a place where we can take the reader along this journey. And we know that at the end of the book, the reader is going to receive the great benefits, get that transformation. Why? Because it's the same journey that we have gone on ourselves. All right. So That's how we're going to decide on the topic that we're going to pick. And inside of the community, inside of our Facebook community, Elevate Her Story University and Coaching Academy, we have a free gift for those of you who are in the community. If you have not downloaded your free gift yet, it is called the Signature Story Workbook. The Signature Story Workbook, and it's for you. Just by joining our community. And so the Signature Story Workbook is going to help you determine what story to write. What story to write. So it's a little workbook, downloadable PDF. And so it's broken down by sections. Questions that are inside the workbook is, what are your stories? List 3 stories that have shifted the trajectory of your life and write a little synopsis about those 3 stories. And then of the 3 stories, which story relates most to the message you want to share, and that you're willing, I mentioned this earlier, that you are willing to repeat and relive and share publicly. All right. And then what lessons came from that. And so at the end of the workbook, you will know exactly what story you should be writing first, the one that you could write second, and then the one that you can write after that. All right. So download it inside of the community. It is the Signature Story Workbook. Make sure you grab that and start working on it so that you can start writing your story. All right. So we want to get clear on our story. So I see that there's one person joining me. Thank you so much. Let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. I'd appreciate it. So we are talking about what story to write. Now, if you think about writing self-help, transformational references, educational books, resource books, what kind of story do you want to write? Short story, of course, nonfiction, because I'm all about nonfiction, all right? So when we think about the stories that we want to write, there are a couple of stories, or there are a couple of books, I should say. There are a couple of books that really work very well and that will not take you forever to write. And those are self-help books and how-to books. Self-help books and how-to books. Self-help books and how-to books are basically like this: 10 lessons to live by. All right. 10 words to live by, 5 pillars of emotional freedom, 10 pillars of wealth, 10 tools to live a better life, the 5-step process to writing a book. All right. 9 steps to financial freedom, 10 habits of a serial entrepreneur, 9 steps to living the life you love. So these are the kinds of stories that can really, as a writer, you can write quickly, and as the reader, they only have to read like 10 steps. Okay, and so it's a win-win for you as the writer, and then also for the reader. All right, so if you want to write something quick, then it is a self-help or how-to book. All right, self-help and how-to are really quick books that you can write because it's a step-by-step process. All right, and it's things that you already know, and you can compile them and put them in your very own book. All right, so when we think about storytelling and writing our stories, those are 2 things that you can do quickly and get them done and uploaded on Amazon. Now, of course, you got to go through the whole process of publishing. You got to get them edited, and you have to get a cover. Well, if you do an ebook, you don't need the back or the spine. You just need the cover. But if you do a full paperback, then of course it is the front, the back, and then of course the spine. So I share this a lot about instead of sharing your entire story, just share a specific message that brings value. Okay, what benefits do the reader have in reading your book? Remember, there are millions of books out there on the bookshelves. What makes your book different? All right. So you have to make sure that the blurb on the back of your book is real tight, meaning that it is going to speak to the ideal reader. Your book is going to tell them what the reader is going to receive as they read your book. And so it is to create that buzz and that excitement that once a reader reads the blurb of your book, then they know, okay, this book is for me. This book is going to benefit me. All right. So we want to create value in our book. We want to create a solution, and we want to give the readers. We want to create a solution and give the readers some results. All right, some results. All right. Your story, of course, should connect with your audience, and it should move them into action and make a change to do something different. When we write our stories, we should give a call to action. We should always give a call to action. One of the things that I have in my books is it's a review page at the end of my books, and it's asking them to post a review on Amazon. So you can give a call to action at the end of your book. Depending on what type of book you're writing, you can give a call to action after a chapter in your book. Like I said, it just depends on what you're writing. But for me, at the end of my book, I give a call to action, asking them to do a book review. If they would do a book review, post it on Amazon, post it on Barnes and Nobles, and then also to share the book with others. Not necessarily give the book away, but tell people about the book. Tell people about the book. So you want to give the readers a call to action, all right? And so that call to action can be even something inside your chapters as well. If you're writing a self-help book or a how-to book, after you write every chapter, you can put some questions in there, all right? And those are call to actions, and it gets the reader something, of course, to apply after they've read your story, after they've read your chapter. Now they can do some applications as they move forward in your story, all right? So let's see, who is joining me here on Facebook? Who's joining me? Hey, Nicole. Hey, Nicole. What about a prayer journal and devotional? Yeah, that would be great. A prayer journal and a devotional are quick. All right. And so your devotional can be as many, you can break it down into a whole year. It could be 60 days. It could be 30 days. It's totally up to you. And so, yes, it can go quickly as well. And it's something that can be turned around very quickly also. Okay. And thanks for that question, Nicole. So, then your story can remind us of how we become the people we are and what we're able to overcome as well. And so I think I mentioned this last time when we were talking about memoirs and autobiographies and the difference between the two. And so the memoir and your autobiography takes about 3 to 10 years to complete because it's your entire life. It is your entire life. That's like from, when you were young all the way up to, whatever age you are when you start to write, and you want to, bring, your readers and give them your entire history of your life. Now, my whole entire life has not been that exciting. Okay, it has not been that exciting. So when I wrote my book, my very first book, I wrote it about my divorce. Okay, so I wrote it about my divorce, and so I was able to speak to women who were going through a divorce, women who were in ministry, okay, and women who were leaders as well. So those were my audiences that I was able to read. So I just picked one topic, and that was my divorce, and that's what I wrote about. And believe you not, that story is what I keep repeating over all of these years. When I talked about earlier that you pick the story or the message that you want to share, and that you're willing to repeat and relive and to share it publicly. I've been sharing that message for over 20 something years. And depending on who my audience is, then of course I tailor it. But basically it's the same message about me going through a divorce, being married to a pastor, and what it did to me, my trauma, and ... And I've just been sticking with that. Why? Because that's my story and it works. It works because it's true, it's relatable, and it has brought a lot of transformation to those who have read it as well. So, hey, Dr. Mary, good to see you this evening. Thank you for joining me. So, we are talking about what story to write. How do we decide on what story to write, and which stories really we can write quickly. We can write quickly as well. So, and then also, I mentioned that inside the community, you can download the free gift, which is the storyteller's, the signature story workbook. Make sure you download that as well. So when you think about once you get past writing or get the idea about which story that you want to write, then what do? Now you decide, okay, I'm going to write about, I'll just use myself as an example. I'm going to write about my divorce. Now, what do I do with that? How much do I write? How much content do I put in there? Do I start? Where do I begin? And so now you have another list of questions that you have to answer yourself. And so I make it a point to tell my clients that if you're going to write about something that was very traumatic, you want to make sure that you don't write about the stuff that that's still painful for you. It's still raw for you. Okay. And so you want to always write about from a place of victory, because this is how you want people to relate to you as they read your story, as they read our stories, okay? Not a place of you're still in the trauma and you're still in the pain. Because readers will definitely pick that up. They will definitely pick that up. And you don't want to dump all of that on your reader. You want your reader to have an amazing experience reading your story. An amazing experience reading your story. So if you have some questions, please make sure you ask those questions. So I'll make sure to answer those questions as I go on. So once we get our idea about the story we're going to write, then how do we decide on the content that we're going to put in our story? You know what? It's really what you want readers to know. It really is what you want readers to know. I do chapter by chapter, so I do an outline of what I want my book to look like. So I do an outline of the chapters that I want to write. So it really depends on what you want your readers to know. And it's totally up to you. If you don't want your readers to know some stuff that's real personal, then of course you don't have to indulge that. You don't have to share that with your readers. Just share with them what it is you want them to know. And then you don't have to think about if what you're writing is going to, really be offensive to anybody. You don't have to worry about if somebody's going to be upset with you about what you're writing, because people are going to do that anyways. Okay, especially if they've had some kind of input, if they've afflicted us in some kind of way, and we share that story, they're going to get upset with us anyway. So you know what? You might as well just share your story because it's your story. All right. So what do you want readers to take from your story? What do you want them to walk away with? All right. So you want to also, once you get your idea, you get your outline together, you know what it is you want to share in your book, and then you want to create two things for your readers. You want to create a premise for your book, and then you want to create a promise to the reader. All right. You want to create a premise for the book and then a promise to the reader. And so the premise is really what this book is about. All right. So of course I'll use myself as an example. My first book, that was Then, This Is Now, This Broken Vessel Restored. So the premise of the book is about emotional trauma while going through a divorce from an ex-pastor's wife who lived through it. That's the premise of the book. So when somebody picks up the book and they flip it over, they look at the blurb, and this is what the blurb is going to say, then I'm going to speak to people who have gone through emotional trauma, people who have gone through a divorce, and people who are in ministry. All right? So your premise should give all that information in two sentences, really. It's only 2 sentences, all right? So that's the premise. Excuse me. And then the promise to the reader. this is the promise that you're making to the reader to get them to buy your book. All right. So the reader will get a confidant. I'm still talking about my book. The reader will get a confidant, someone who knows what you're going through because they've been there and have answer to the tough questions you have. So that's the promise of the book. So I've already pulled them in by the premise, and now I'm guaranteeing them that as they read my book, this is what they're going to get out of it. All right. They're going to get a confidant and someone who knows what they are going through because they have the answers to the questions that they have. So you give them a premise and you give them a promise. All right. And then also, I tagged on a part of the promise is the women who read this book will feel empowered, hopeful, and inspired to stand in the face of fear and move to the next level or the next chapter of her life. So that's the promise of that book. So anybody that will pick up a copy of That Was Then, This Is Now, that's the premise and that's the promise. And so I can get a book sale based on those three criterias, meeting that somebody who's going through emotional trauma, it's relating to a divorce, and it's about ministry, somebody that is in ministry, an ex-pastor's wife. All right. So that's what you want to leave your readers with. All right. So I hope that this has helped you. And if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much for joining me. So we talked about today, what do we write about? What do we write about? I hope I was able to share with you some nuggets that you can take with you as you are writing your story. And so I want to leave you with this, and I want to share with you about the 90-day program, of course. Unlock the Writer in You, the 90-day program, for those of you who are at the stage of you don't want to write any more anthologies, you're ready to start doing your solo book, and you want to get it done in 90 days. And so I have a 90-day program ideal for you. And so the 90-day program, the results of it, I'm going to share with you the framework that that my clients are using right now as they're writing their books. It's the same framework that I give my clients who go through my 6-month program, but of course, this is done in 90 days, and so it is an intensive 90-day program. And so these are some of the things that you are going to receive as you go through the 90-day program. Of course, it's a group program, and you will learn the step-by-step process to self-publishing. I'm going to teach you and show you how to become your own publisher. And so after the 90 days, you will not only have published your book, but you have published your very own book, and now you are the publisher. All right. So you will also get, you will know about the copyright process, what that looks like, how to obtain your intellectual properties and whatnot. And then also, as I mentioned, you will be positioned as the publisher because you're setting up a publishing business. You are setting up a publishing business. I mentioned this before that I don't publish people. The only thing that I publish that it involves other people are my anthologies. Okay, but I don't publish other people. I empower you to publish yourself. I show you how to do it yourself. And also, inside the 90-day program, it will help you get from A to Z much quicker and much faster with a coach. All right. Outline your story that produces 7 to 10 chapters. And then also write your first draft. That's the most important thing about going through the 90-day program. I am going to be alongside of you to help you write your first draft. It does not take us 5, 10, 50, 20 years to write a book. Do you know why it takes us that long? Because we're accountable to nobody but ourselves. We're accountable to nobody but ourselves. So we can tell ourselves, okay, I'm going to put it off till tomorrow. Or I'll do it next year. Or I'll do it next month. You know, we can keep doing that because we don't have any accountability. All right. And that's why it takes us so long. Accountability is so important. And so the thing that I do inside the program, and this is what I do with my clients, my one-on-one coaching clients, is we're accountable. I put you on a schedule. I tell you how many words you need to write, how many chapters you need to do by this period in order for us to get to the end result, and that is the publishing date. And so you need to have accountability, and so that is a big piece about this program, and even working with me one-on-one. It is the coaching, it is accountability. What about marketing? So are you asking about marketing inside the program? Yes, that is part of it as well. And so I will teach you how to market the book once it's written. Yes, Nicole. Yes, I will teach you how to market the book once it is written. Yes. In fact, I will leave the link to the sales page, and you can go to the sales page and see all the benefits and everything that you will receive in the program. I'll leave that inside the group as well when I get done. But yes, I'll teach you how to market your book. So that's definitely the before, the during, and the after. That is so important. Okay, and so I share with you about, I'm going to show you the framework that I use with my own clients. I'll share that with you. And then understanding the writing process. That's major. Understanding the writing process so you can plan your content, develop your outline, and complete your first draft. All right? And complete your first draft. Now, with the 90-day program, I want to share with you also the opportunity cost of not taking action. The opportunity cost, because just like there are costs for taking action, there's also costs for not taking action. All right. And so I want to share with you the what happens when we don't move. Well, what happens when we don't take action when the opportunity comes? Because when opportunities come, fear is going to come, doubt is going to come, those limited beliefs are going to come, those objections are going to come to try to stop you from moving forward. All right. So the chance of wasted years, put a little plug right there. This is the opportunity cost for not taking action. The chances of wasted years of not publishing your book increases. Now I'm going to give you an example. So I had did a coaching session with someone probably about 4 years ago. I'll say 4 years ago. Okay. And she wanted to go through my one-on-one 4 years ago. And so she didn't take action. Okay. So she called me about 4 months ago. Now I done moved on. So she called me about 4 months ago saying she was ready, but she was still mentally at that place 4 years ago. Financially, I was not there. Okay. So I told her, I said, I don't have that, my rates have gone up after 4 years. I said, this is what it would cost now for you to work with me. And so it was real quiet on that phone call because she expected me to be in the same place that she was, and I wasn't. So she missed a great opportunity. And I went back and I looked at that contract that I had sent her, and I looked at what I was charging. I was going to charge her, and I'm like, oh my God, I was practically giving it away for free. Okay, I was practically giving it away for free. And so wasted time, wasted years, wasted opportunities. So you want to make sure that when these opportunities come, you act on it. You don't give the enemy no time to speak into your mind, to give you a reason to, talk you out of your blessings from the Lord. Don't give him no reason to get you to doubt. All right. Yes. Yeah. You right, Nicole. Yeah, I have. And you know what? You go up on your prices, and this is something I'll discuss as well. You go up on your prices because in the process of you growing and developing as an entrepreneur, you take classes, you be in different programs, you're enhancing your business platform, you are you are getting coached. I have 2 business coaches. I still go to sessions with my coach, my original coach. So you are always constantly growing in your business, and you're constantly adding value to who you are so that you can serve your customers better. so you can serve your clients better, okay? And so if you are in business and you are an entrepreneur and you have the same prices that you had last year, 2 years, 3 years ago, you need to raise your rates. You need to raise your prices, but that's another thing, okay? Yes, they have gone up. But I'm gonna tell you something. You getting some results. You will get the results. Okay, you definitely will get the results. All right, and it's all about the transformation. It's all about writing your book. It's all about becoming a bestseller. It's all about building your businesses and being an entrepreneur and taking it, from creativity all the way to a finished product. All right, and that is something that is eternal. That is something that's legacy. That is something that's just not going to end once you get, your first book. You're going to continue doing that over and over and over again, but you would only work with me that one time. All right. So the opportunity cost of not taking action. No one to teach you how to leverage your book for other paid opportunities. No one to teach you how to leverage your book for other paid opportunities. No extra stream of income. No clarity or direction. No book published. Another broken promise. How long has it been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many years has it been since you've been saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book"? And after a while, it begins to be a broken record. And it's not like opportunities have not come. Opportunities come, and you just choose not to take them for whatever reason. Okay. So here go a few more. The opportunity cost of not taking action. The chances of procrastination increases, and then no one to answer your publishing questions, and chances of no one being accessible to you to give you the valuable advice that will save you money. All right, that will save you money. So my program, you can join us in this 90-day program for half the cost and get the same results. Half the cost and get the same results. I will put the link inside the group, and you can check out the page and all the details about the program. And should you choose to be one of the 10, I would so love the opportunity to coach you, teach you on how to become an author, and also to publish, to be a publisher. And set up your own publishing business. So if you do not have any more questions, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me this Wednesday, February the 16th, in the year of our Lord 2022. I appreciate your time here, and catch me again next Wednesday. Same place, same time, in the community. I'm streaming inside Elevate Her Story University and Coaching Academy, and then also on my Facebook page, and then also on YouTube. So you guys be blessed, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.